What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We got something neat for this video, so stick around. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry it's been a little while. We've just been busy plucking away at some of these side jobs, so we're going to get right into this one. So what this is I have a good customer of mine who has a lot of Harley Davidsons. He does restorations on old Harley Davidsons and flat track bikes and all kinds of stuff. Really neat stuff. I actually did he's got a 1912 Harley Davidson V-twin that I redid the exhaust on it to make it replicate like the stock exhaust, which was a pretty big project, but I had a lot of time to work on that, so I kind of just did it here and there in my free time. And I'll go ahead and post a picture of that here for you guys to check that out. That turned out really, really neat. Hopefully that bike is going to be going into either an auction or a private collection at some point. So I had a lot of fun on that project, and he contacted me again for this project, which is to work with some of his race bikes and on his race team and stuff. And what we're doing is we're doing two different exhaust systems and some titanium subframes. The exhaust systems are also all built out of titanium. So I've never dealt with or worked with titanium before this. And to say this was a learning process is an understatement. It was very different material, like I've never really worked with before. It's quite unique, so it was a lot of fun to work with it. I learned a lot. The more I work with it, it's only a thing. The titanium work is going to get better and better and better. I was completely clueless on how any of this was going to work, and it worked out pretty well I think for my first time ever using titanium. The systems sound great. They look good. I didn't get to film the subframe stuff because I'm working with them in between their practice sessions and things like that. So I have very kind of limited windows for getting the bike and working on building these components. So I didn't get to do. I tried to film the subframe stuff, but the videoing takes a lot of time, and I only have a single camera for right now, so I was not able to get too much coverage of that, and I ended up just putting the cameras and stuff aside so I can get that project done for those guys. I have two subframes that I built. They're a little bit longer for their new rider. I had to make everything for the bungs and all the plate. I had a bunch of plate work and stuff. I'll go ahead and post a picture of that, of one of those subframes up as well. So carrying on from that, I have the exhaust system that you're going to watch this video on. This is the first system I've done, and the beginning of this video was the first time I've ever worked with the titanium at all. So I learned a lot. It turned out really, really well considering, I think. And the system, now that they had it on the bike, the engine tuner loves the system. He's made good power with it. It sounds pretty neat. It looks beautiful now that they've got some heat cycles through it. It's blued and purpled. Really, really, really neat looking system on this bike. So the customer is super pumped on it. We saved quite a bit of weight. The system that we took off of the bike was, I believe 15 some pounds, and we dropped another 6 or 7 pounds out of that. So the titanium, the full titanium system with all the bracketry and the flanges and everything that we are going to be building in this video is less than half the weight of the previous system, which is pretty substantial, and it was pretty neat. Titanium just feels like paper when you're working with it. It's very light. It's very strange. So I had a good time doing this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please, I ask that you like and subscribe. I have some YouTube goals I would love to make to meet this year. So in order for me to do that, I need your guys' help and support. So I ask, just please subscribe. Thank you so much if you do. And we have lots of cool stuff coming up in the future. I'm getting back on the Honda Talon right now. Starting to work on the floor for the bed. and then lots of other stuff, lots of panel work and sheet metal work on this thing. So it's going to be pretty neat. I'm also getting my shop a little bit more organized and dialed in. I'm working on getting some lighting done. So I have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff coming up. I'm trying to make these videos as best as I can in the time that I have to make them. So once again, thank you guys so much for your support. I hope you really enjoy this video, and stick around to the end. I have photos and videos of the exhaust all done and running. I did end up making a second exhaust, but we've only made the mufflers for that exhaust system at this point, just because of their race schedule and timing that I have the bike. They're going to be going back east with the bikes for some races, and then when they come back, I'm going to be finishing up the dual exhaust system that comes out high instead of the low system. So that should be pretty fun. I should be able to knock that one out pretty quickly now that I'm pretty dialed in with the titanium stuff. So once again, thank you guys so much, and here's the video. All right, guys, what's going on? I've been working on this Harley for a few days now, trying to get this exhaust system done. I'm hoping I can get it finished up today. We're doing 2-in-1 low exit, all titanium. I'm building a muffler and everything. I got the headers all done. It's turning out pretty good. I had to, so there's like 5 different sizes of tubing that I had to get to make all the steps as accurate as the engine tuner wants. So I ended up having to pie cut. This is, I think, 1 5/8 to 1 3/4 to 2 inch to collector to 2.5, and then the muffler is 3.5. And so there's a lot of different sizes, and I was able to get mandrel bends for most of this stuff, but the 1 5/8 I couldn't get mandrel bends, so I ended up having to cut and make all these pie cuts myself. We got bungs in there, but yeah, it's going pretty good so far. This is the first time I've ever worked with titanium. It's a pretty funky material. I also ended up having to make these flanges are, I think, 8 mil thick titanium that I built, and I still have to add spring retainers here, and then also finish up the. Sorry, my bench is a little messy, but have to finish up the muffler with the perforated tube inside of it. And it'll go in here somewheres like that. But it's turned out pretty good. But I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up and get back to work, because we're gonna be delivering this thing hopefully tomorrow. So stay tuned.